Hey guys, so I'm coming today to basically give you my perspective on a question that has been asked before about locks, which is, are locks high maintenance and expensive? Okay, so for me, I definitely want to go ahead and answer with a big fat no. I do not think that they have to be high maintenance or expensive. However, depending on how you approach your journey, they definitely can be, okay? So let's first talk about the high maintenance piece, because the reality is with locks, you don't have to comb them. You don't have to detangle or anything like that. So most of the time when people are talking about high maintenance, they're talking about like interlocking, retwisting, styling, and things like that, right? And one thing that you have to recognize is none of those things that I just mentioned are actually necessary for your locks. You don't have to retwist, you don't have to interlock, you don't have to do any type of styling on your locks. Those are a choice, right? And so with those being a choice for your locks, if you are doing them so frequently to the point where it's just making your journey miserable, then that's something you're projecting onto your journey. That's not something that is just coming because you have locks, okay? You really have to make sure that you have healthy expectations about having hair, period, let alone natural hair or locks or anything like that, right? Because the reality of the situation is there are going to be some basic things that you have to do to have healthy hair. You have to wash your hair. You have to take care of your scalp. You have to moisturize your hair, whatever that looks like for you. Some people don't condition, that's fine, right? You have to do certain things though to make sure that you have healthy hair. But doing those things should not equal, high maintenance hair, right? So one thing to maybe look at is, how often am I retwisting? Am I retwisting because I'm actually having mirroring at my roots, or because I'm new to my journey, or am I retwisting because I just have to have my hair perfect all of the time, right? And so you need to look at that. I mean, for some people, maybe at your job, having any puffy roots is not going to be acceptable. But then you have to look at, how is this over twisting going to really affect my hair? How was this time, that I'm having to commit to my locks to keep them so perfect really affecting me? As well as, is it worth it? Maybe having locks is not the best for my lifestyle and what the expectations are around me, right? So just really understanding that locks, honestly, out of the three I've had, out of locks, loose natural, and relaxed hair, I got to say that locks have been the most low maintenance out of the three. Out of the three, hands down. Let's argue, because for me, it has the least amount of work required. I wash my hair maybe once or twice a month. I retwist when I feel like it. Sometimes that's once a month, or you could be like now, where I'm like 5 weeks in and I still don't plan to do it today, right? So just understanding that it can be as low maintenance as you want it to be, right? And the second piece of this is the part about it being expensive. Okay, so most things that tend to be expensive when it comes to your hair are hair products, hair equipment, and salon visits. Those are the big three that I've seen in journeys, right? When it comes to products, you really don't need a ton of products for your locks. You need something to basically clean it, something to moisturize it, and that's pretty much it. Everything else is totally unnecessary. Styling products are helpful, but they're not necessary, right? So, and even if you're using those styling products, you should not be using those on a daily basis, which means you should not be running out as fast, i.e. you're not having to buy as much. So the reality is, if you're spending and dumping a bunch of money product-wise on your locks, that's your problem. You need to really look at where you're doing and make some changes, right? Now, when it comes to equipment, maybe things like perm rods, flexi rods, clips, things like that, very, very inexpensive. Not things that you really have to continually purchase. Those are one-time purchases. Most of us already have a hair dryer of some sort. So really understanding that you can't really say it's the equipment. Now let's go to like salon visits, okay? Number one, that's a choice. But number two, you're going to the salon maybe once every 1 to 2 months. So we have to look at, yes, $60, $70, $80, $100 is very expensive. However, if you're only going once or twice a month, you have to decide, is that effort appropriate to the cost, right? Is the lasting of the style or the health of my hair worth that money? If it is, fantastic. If it's not, start making some changes. But none of those things are necessary for you to have a very awesome loc journey, okay? So that's really where I want to kind of wrap things up, is understanding that locs do not have to be high maintenance or expensive. And if your journey is right now, try to figure out some ways that you can make some changes, you know? I want to start a conversation too, down in the comments. Go ahead and talk about, you know, is your journey high maintenance or expensive, or has it been? And kind of what did you do to make changes so that your journey wasn't these things, you know? And also, if you have time, feel free to subscribe to my channel. It's a little red button that says subscribe, as well as there's a little bell, like an alarm, that you can click, and that'll ensure that you're always notified when I post a new video, guys, okay? But I want to thank you again for your continued support. I'm actually going to go do my hair now. I had another video for you guys that I did a week ago, but I didn't like the footage. The style wasn't meh. So we're going to try again this week, okay? Thank you guys again for the support, and I'll see you next time, all right? Bye.